Hey Capricorns, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your upcoming in-bulk season, February 2nd to the spring equinox in March. So, first things first here, Capricorn, let's talk about your meditation, and we're going to get into the epic beauty that is your spread here. So in the meditation, it was short but sweet. I saw the image of a star in the sky, and whenever I see a star, I think Aquarian energy, right? So it feels like that, starlit glow is cast over your entire in-bulk season here, which is perfect because in-bulk season also happens within Aquarian season. So it's really, really beautiful. Or begins within Aquarian season, I should say. It's really lovely with that star energy. It's healing, it's great hope, great love, faith, physical wellness. It's being in the spotlight, wish fulfillment, having your dreams realized. Star energy is just like, so good. So I saw this star, and then underneath, far beneath the star, I saw this black bear. It was a smaller black bear. And I saw it sit down underneath the star, and I saw it open like a compartment in its chest. It wasn't gory. It was just, very symbolic. I saw it open a compartment in its chest, and where its heart would normally be, there was a cricket, and it was Gemini cricket from, is it Pinocchio? I want to say Disney's Pinocchio. And I heard that song, "When You Wish Upon a Star, Doesn't Matter." I don't know the lyrics exactly, but doesn't matter who you are, blah, 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 your wish will come true. So eloquently put. But that, it's interesting because we have that idea of wish fulfillment, right? And we have Gemini cricket coming in and saying like, wish upon a star. Cricket energy is really stunning because that's full energy and they aren't able to go backwards, right? So it's about forward movement or even side movement, but movement that is a continuous journey forwards towards your dreams and towards what you wish to manifest personally, but really in terms of like what really gets you going, in terms of your soul purpose, what really fires you up, what really means the most to you. So with all of that, then I pulled your cards and it's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I do feel like there is an overall message here or caution around having an abundance mindset, right? Our minds can be perilous places, or they can be, paradises full of, positivity and faith. And for you, it's really coming up where if your physical circumstances, whether this is work opportunity or, where you live or how you live or whatever that is for you, if you can look at your physical circumstances and see that everything is honestly impermanent, right? If you can look at what you don't like about your circumstances and go, okay, well, it's like this for right now, but I know that a shift in circumstances is inevitable if the internal state and mind are abundance-based. It's just how it works energetically, right? That's what manifestation is. So you have King of Pentacles here in your place of challenges, right? So this is beautiful earth energy to represent you Capricorns, but when this is in alignment, right? When he's in the upright, and Buffalo energy too also represents Fool energy. So I do feel like there's a Fool and a Star energy around this as well, right? Big dreams, big hopes, really thinking big, which is beautiful. The King of Pentacles, when he's in the upright, he does not worry about not having enough. It's similar to Camel energy in that way, where it's like King of Pentacles is, I trust that whatever I need is going to show up for me. And alternatively, whenever I have enough, for me and more, I share, right? So it's also about being generous of spirit, especially when, not only when, but especially when you feel like you're running low on your own reserves, right? Of spirit, of optimism, of generosity, giving when you feel like, you don't know how much you have to give. It's easy to give when you have, lots and lots and lots. But when you can look to someone, this isn't just money, right? This is love. This is support. This is positivity. This is wishing the best for other people, even when your own situation seems to be lacking, right? And it's that kind of integrity and that kind of generous spirit that you're being called to embody with the King of Pentacles in your place of challenge, right? It's not easy. You're being asked to be the highest and best version of yourself as an earth sign. I mean, no pressure. But it's important. It is important somehow. So, your overall energies here, you have the moth, which is like my favorite, next to crow, of course. You have moth energy here, and you have nightingale energy. Look at this. Nightingale is in front of a starry sky. I saw that star in your meditation. This is Queen of Swords energy, air energy. This is about being clear-minded, but also being willing to edit whatever within you and in your given circumstances isn't working for you, right? So this is about having that kind of brutal honesty and willing to take an honest self-assessment, right? The Queen of Swords is, how do I say this? It's not that she's hard on herself and others, but she expects just as much from herself, if not more, as she does of other people, by way of truth and by way of clarity of mind, clarity of intention, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, understanding that your words, can have great consequence to not just the words you say to yourself, but to those around you. So understanding that words can be sharp like the sword. And so being mindful and responsible about how you wield them, right? If you wield your words like a sword, then you're going to be very careful about what you say and who you show the pointy end to, right? Just something to just something to think about. I'm going to put her here, take a bit of room. So moth energy is also related to the nighttime, right? This is a lunar moth. Moths are nocturnal in nature. Absolutely stunning. Moth energy speaks of shadow work, and shadow work is a theme that has been coming up a lot within the collective. It's been coming up within the personal realm as well, which you will soon see. And it also has been coming up a lot in this particular set of readings. Now, this time of Imbolc, right? Even if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're in Lammas working your way towards Mabon, it's similar. It's just a counterpart energy, right? But this time we are in between, in the northern hemisphere, we're in between Yule and Ostara, which is the spring equinox, right? So this is prime time for shadow work, prime time, because this is when we have the opportunity to reflect and engage in stillness with an eye on the spring to come, right? This is that 6-week period where it's like, okay, let me think about what I want it to look like and feel like, and take this time to ready myself and clear my mind and organize surroundings so that I am ready for that spring clean and that movement forward, right? But moth also is about facing your shadows and transforming. So there is that aspect of transformation here that wants to happen within and around you, right? Which leads us to, you got Aquarius. I did your meditation before I pulled these cards, y'all, and I got that star for Aquarius, and then Aquarius came up, number 4. I'm so here for it. So this says, all are capable of dreaming, but it is those who surrender to vision who are visionaries. I must say that again for the seats in the back. All are capable of dreaming, but it is those who surrender to vision who are visionaries. Now that's beautiful. I'm going to tell you what I get from this. It takes a certain amount of confidence in order to be patient around how your dreams manifest for you. Wanting it right now or wanting it a certain way is your ego, right? We know this. We also know it's part of being human, right? We forgive ourselves. But having that sort of demand, or that sort of like, even looking at other people's, social media or their friends and seeing how well they're doing or how they appear to be doing, or even measuring where you are against where you've been before, or where you think, quote, you should be, is poisonous. It is absolute poison, and it poisons you and it poisons everyone around you, because that poison colors your experiences, even outside of that particular context. It really has a way of spreading, and not in a good way. I really do feel like you're being called here to trust that because Aquarius is the sign of the unique path, right? In terms of visionaries, they see things in a way that other people do not immediately get, right? But they're known as the sign that's ahead of their time. Oh, aren't you just ahead of your time? I'm an Aquarius, so we're used to hearing that a lot. But the fact that it's coming up for you, right, during this season, it really does feel like you're being asked to consider, to believe in your own unique path, and to not hold yourself up to any standards, not even your own standards of what you've done before. Okay? That feels incredibly important. And can you have the confidence required in order to show patience? Patience to yourself, patience to the process, patience to the journey, and patience for those around you, right? It's really, really important, right? It's all working out for you, you know. Everything is, you know, you've got this star energy, you've got this wish upon a star, this full energy, but it's really about right now taking this time to build that stuff up within yourself independently. And I'm hearing that word independent for you, which is also very Aquarian energy, right? So it really feels like, you know how they say, like, don't necessarily share what you're working on creatively or manifestation wise until it's sort of done, until the slow cooker goes off and it's already cooked. Because by talking about it too early, you can expose it to other people's energies, thoughts, and opinions that can sort of affect it, and before it's fully matured enough to withstand other people's influence, right? It's like these little flames that flicker. That's also what invoke is. It's the lighting of that flame. Your outcome here is the Ace of Wands. And so we're going to get to that in a minute, but it's just like, hello, fire. I'm here for it for you guys. But this is really stunning. Also with the water bearer aspect of this as well, I'm hearing to, you know, baby with the bathwater, throw it out with the bathwater. Whatever aspects within you or around you are making you feel less than or discontent in any way, it really is about noticing that stuff with the Queen of Swords Nightingale energy and understanding that you can contextualize or reframe that for yourself in a way that is medicinal and positive and unique to you, unique to your experience, right? Really feeling like a lot of this stuff around you is the way that you frame things, right? I'm also hearing with the buffalo, hasn't everything always worked out for you in the end, eventually, in some way? There's something in that. So your victory here is stunning and beautiful. It's 4 of Wands. This is another 4 for you, right? So you have Aquarius, which is number 4 here. Then you have the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is beautiful because this is celebration, joy, marriage, engagements, happiness. This is the bowerbird who, you know, builds his nest in order to attract a mate. This is the having key signs and synchronicities and feeling like you're exactly where you're meant to be. The fact that this is your victory just shows that whatever you're working towards and whatever you put your effort towards during this time, you're going to feel good about it. It's just about understanding that having the confidence it takes to be patient and trust in the path ahead and trust in your own personal process is what is going to lead to you receiving in abundance everything that you dream of, right? But it just, I feel like the Queen of Swords and the Moth are coming together to say, Nightingale and Moth are saying, like, be mindful and be conscious of what is your ego and what is your inner knowing, what is connected to your higher self. I will tell you this, your ego sounds louder. Your ego is louder. It's more frantic. It's a lot more dramatic, right? But your higher self, your divine core that you know holds the truth within you, that can see clearly in all directions of time and space, that has the reality, is softer. It's quieter. It's not afraid. It trusts and it knows that everything is going to be okay. It has all the patience in the world. Okay, you're being called to discern between the two on an ongoing basis, especially for those of you who are creative. It is incredibly important. Knight of Wands here is your advice. So what's really brilliant about this, we're talking about patience, and then your advice comes up as like the quickest moving knight in the whole crew. But what's fantastic about the way that this is coming up in this deck is that this is about the knight being still in place and ready, right? But see that shadow there as well, and we're talking about shadow work. So it really is an interesting thing when we think about, you know, Carl Jung, who said that, you know, what we are not conscious of, what we're not aware of, ultimately has power over us. So it's really about coming into a greater self-awareness as well with this, right? Because if you know yourself, then you have all the optionality, all the choices, all the information available to you, right? And then it's not things in your subconscious like fear that are making your choices for you, but you're able to respond overreacting when you're triggered. You're able to come from a place of higher knowing and trust and love-based choices, which means you won't regret them tomorrow or next week or a year down the line, right? It might even be a helpful exercise for you to think about the times in which you made fear-based choices and what came out of those choices versus love-based choices, where maybe it was the harder choice, but you knew it was the right one, and then look at that, how that worked out. It's a good time to review. And the fact that this is your advice here as well is just saying, you know, stay connected to what gives you great passion. Stay connected to your passion. Stay connected to that fire within you, because that is something that is very special about you as a Capricorn. You know, Capricorns, in my opinion, have a lot of fire, inherent fire. Even though you're an earth sign, there's a lot of fire within your, you know, energy. You guys are incredibly motivated. You're hardworking. You feel things in a way that is very unique to you. You are incredibly good friends to have, right? Because you're loyal as the day is long. And if you can just, add some of this Aquarius energy of not expecting yourself or others to be a certain way or come across a certain way or succeed in a certain time or whatever that is, you're going to find that you have access to a feeling of freedom that you are never going to want to live without again. And that's what this is, right? This is leading you to a place of freedom of self, freedom of spirit, freedom of mind, and also having that generous heart, right? Now your outcome here is brilliant. So it's Ace of Combustion, which is Ace of Wands. So brilliant. This is a brand new start. The Wands rule the realm of the actions that we do or don't take around our soul purpose, right? The Wands are the suit of the soul. So the fact that this is coming up is your outcome, and it's the Ace, which is a new start, new beginning, big success, big inspiration. Look at how this hand is coming out of the picture frame. This is the Boadicea Tarot, by the way. The link is in the description. I'm obsessed with it. The hand is coming out of the picture frame with the flame. And we're talking about Aquarius energy, again, in front of the stars, thinking out of the box and being a visionary. How can you go about your life and your approach to your work and your relationships and what's important to you in a way that is not limited by what has happened before or limited by fear or limited by prejudice or bias, but is actually out of the box and in a way will lead you to freedom of mind, freedom of choice, right? Can you think out of the box? I feel like that's what you're being called to do here, right? Which is interesting with the moth being in the cocoon and then literally transforming and bursting out of it, right? It's interesting. I do feel like, especially because the moth in its final formation, it doesn't live very long. It doesn't have a mouth. Its only purpose is to really procreate and then be beautiful and procreate and then die, right? I do feel like there's an aspect of this because I'm seeing Swan, which is one of Bridie's animals, and she is the goddess of Imbolc. I do feel like there's an aspect of swan song for you in terms of something that you are being called to do or fulfill or take a chance on. You just feel like the time is now where it's coming. And I'm hearing, because moth is also Page of Wands energy, I'm hearing to be brave. It's just about, can you go about it in a way that is also tempered with the confidence that it takes to be truly patient and know that anything worth having, right, is worth being patient for. So that's really, really stunning, Capricorn. It's beautiful. And just look at this. This is you. I love this for you. It's so beautiful. So with that being said, Capricorn, I'm so happy to be back with you. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, let me know in the comments below because I love hearing from you guys so much. I have released the 24 year ahead videos. So if you haven't checked those out yet, go on, take a gander. And with that being said, again, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well until next time.